First question, why did you decide to run for this office?
Well, this is re-election time for me. When I first decided to run, I didn't like a lot of things that were going on in Paulding County. It just seemed to be stopped, for lack of a better word. We stopped, and I wanted to continue. So somebody came up and told me, Sandy, you need to run for post 2. You only have to go to 2 meetings a month. And I said, well, I don't want to give up my full-time job, but if that's all you have to do, I'll try it. Well, little did I know before I got into office that it was not 2 meetings a month. It is more like 40 to 60 hours a week, because you're continuously in meetings. And my full-time job became my part-time job, and my part-time job supposedly became my full-time job. But the reason I wanted to run is to change some things in Paulding County that I really didn't like. And we have moved forward. We are moving forward. We're doing the right things. And I just want to continue on that road.
I feel like Sandy, she hit a lot of the key points. The reason that I think that I wanted to be part of the county, I mean, I've been out here for 30 plus years. I'm a business owner. I've seen things change all over the county, and I want to see the county to continue to grow. I want to be a part of that. My kids live here. A lot of my family live here. There's things that I'd like to see change on our side of town, and if you don't speak that voice, it don't happen. And my father raised me to be part of the problem solving, not part of the problem. And you listen to the advocates in your area, and you know what their wishes are, and you zone towards the solution. He said anybody can be part of the problem, but not very few can be part of the solution. And that's why I'm running for post 2. I want to be part of the solution.
Thank you. School overcrowding is a serious issue. What do you think that the Board of Commissioners could do to help the Board of Education to reduce school overcrowding?
Okay, so what we've done so far is we have put a moratorium on building. It is now over, but we have increased and updated all of our zoning ordinances to make it a little bit more difficult for the builders to come here and take advantage of us. So we've increased lot sizes. We have put overlays. We have done all the correct things that we need to do. We think we're still working on it, but it is actually a little bit harder for builders to come in and throw up anything they want to put in Paulding County.
Thank you.
I agree with what Sandy said. I mean, I don't have a lot of those numbers because I've obviously not been in the office, but our schools are overpopulated. I mean, I have a daughter in school and I have grandkids in school, and you know, we're seeing trailers behind the schools, and they need to be in the building interacting with the rest. And we do need to stop some of the bigger builders that just want to come in here and throw up houses, take our money, and leave. And you know, we need more commercial, but that falls back to we've got to have the sewage for the commercial people to want to come in and build, to make our area thrive, to make our, you know, to create this money to build the new schools as they said. And you know, and I don't have all the numbers, and you know, if I get in office, I will strive to look at those numbers and help the commissioners change it.
Thank you. Moving toward crime, what steps would you take to address the increasing crime rate in Paulding County?
Well, we're working on that as well. We have given our sheriff's department 2 raises already. We've done a Condrey study and went with that study to raise their levels and raise their paychecks, for lack of a better word. But we're in the works right now, working with our sheriff. I think both of our police departments are doing fine, but our sheriff's department is lacking probably by about 70 deputies right now. And we've increased the pay, we've increased the retirement, and it's just not working for us. We are level across the board with counties our size in population. We're right there, but it's not working for us. So we have to come up with a better answer more than just pay and retirement. I'm open for suggestions if you have any.
And I agree. You see the signs, we're needing officers. But the officers, they feel like they're under scrutiny due to these phones. Anytime they pull somebody over, somebody's whipping a phone out and they're scared to do their job. My area I live in has what I call them streetwalkers. They stay at the stores on these ding-ding machines. And you go by a store and the pumps are full, but there's nobody pumping gas. They're all inside either doing corrupt drug deals, playing the ding-dings, hoping for a win. But they're also walking the streets and looking at what you and I got in our side yard or in our backyard and seeing what they can take to the pawn shop to get more money for this. And I think our sheriff's hands are tied to the point that they pick them up and get them off the street and the judges just turn them right back loose. And they have no consequences. They slap them on the hands and let them go.
All right, thank you. I worked with the cop, Sheriff Neil Warren, for 3 years as his legislative liaison, and it's a huge problem.
It is huge.
And it's going to take everybody's effort to fix that, because the sheriff has the sole responsibility of the jail, which means he's got the sole responsibility of the health and welfare of everybody in that jail. And if you pay attention to the news, that's a big deal. So,
Can I add something?
yes, ma'am.
Speaking of jails, our jail is getting ready to open back up. We've been just incarcerating people that felonies, or that people that don't need to be on the street, mental health. But we're getting ready to open our jail back up again, full throttle, and nobody's to blame. Nobody is to blame.
David?
I agree. I mean, we've got the old facility versus the new sheriff's department, and that facility needs to be. I mean, I don't know if you've talked to very many of these people that walk the streets, but they walk down my streets, and I ask them what they're doing. Well, I'm just passing through. They're not passing through because they come back every day. And if we had a facility that wants to get them off the street and help them, it would be a blessing.
Okay. Thank you. Do you believe that both hired members and appointed volunteer members of boards, such as planning and zoning, should reside in Paulding County?
Absolutely. Point blank, period. Absolutely.
I agree 100%.
That was easy. Get some more of those and get out of here early. What's your favorite color?
You've got a talker right here.
This past session, House Bill 1093 and Senate Bill 494, here's where it gets good, folks, listen, would have stopped the county commission's ability to make any regulations that affect build-to-rent subdivisions. Would you have supported their passage?
Absolutely. there's a fine line, but in Paulding County especially, and that's what we're talking about is Paulding County, we have got 17 PRDs that have not been built on yet. That is residential areas that have not been built yet. They've been left over from the 2008, what do you call it? Yes, they've been left over from that and they're being built on now. Investors, I mean, you can't tell anybody that they can't sell their land to an investor anywhere. You just can't. What the investor does with it is a different story. They have, as long as it is zoned right, which most of our property in Paulding County is residential, if it's zoned right, they can put up rentals. They can put up whatever they want, as long as it's residential. We do have a moratorium right now on apartments and townhomes, but I see that ending pretty soon.
I agree with part of it. But when you go into a HOA subdivision, and I have some friends that live in them, and I live on a farm, so I could never live there. I have too many tractors. And they say, well, just had some renters move in next door, and and they won't cut the grass. They trash the place up, and then they find out that the house has been retrofitted to Section 8. And they paid to get into this HOA, but they're letting the people that originally bought the house lease it out. And I see that bringing the subdivisions down, and I don't think they should be able to. If you choose to live there, that's fine. If you choose to sell it, that's fine. But I don't think it should be $300,000 house turned into a Section 8 just to make a paycheck.
Two recent legislative issues caused an uproar when they were introduced. One dealt with the change to a commission manager form of government, county manager. What are your thoughts concerning a change in this form of governance?
Well, I did vote to approve the county manager position, and the reason is because it takes some of the work off of the chairman. Our chairman is overloaded with work. He can't get out and meet people, talk to potential people coming in for business. He doesn't have time for that because he's taking care of the business inside the building. We wanted to change that, give the county manager more work so that our chairman can go out and do the job that he's supposed to do.
I don't know a whole lot about, I know that we just did elect a county manager to help Mr. Carmichael, our chairman. I was under the impression that the city manager was his position as far as getting out, seeing people, taking care of the county's business. So, I mean, I don't have enough information on that because I hadn't been in there long enough to see his workload.
Can I say something?
Sure.
With the growth of Paulding County, the way it's going on now, there is no way that the chairman, no matter who it is, can take care of everything that is going on in the county right now.
I think you're good. All right, another proposed legislative action dealt with the Board of Education having an up or down vote on county planning and zoning approvals. Outside of the legal issues, what are your thoughts about this legislation?
Well, we just added a seat to our planning and zoning board, and it is a school board member or a member of the school. And I think it's a great thing. We will now have their input and know where they're coming from and what's going on at the school board. We also added a quarterly meeting with all the stakeholders in Paulding County, the school board, IBA, EDO. We're doing a quarterly meeting where everybody gets at the table and we talk out what's going on in the county and how can we better it. So the school board and the county are working closely together now. All of the other entities are working closely with our board, and we're getting things done.
And I don't know how to reply to that because, you know, like I said, I'm not in there. But school board does need to work with the commissioners. We need to know about the growth, whether they need schools, whether we need to find where we need to appropriate that money to stop our overcrowding, because our kids are our future. I mean, they're our tomorrow, and if we don't look out for them now, there's plenty of illiterates out there. And if we don't change that, it's just gonna drag us down. And yeah, I believe the school board should have a lot of input with the commissioners and be hand in hand to help them get what they need, whether it be raises or whether it be a specialized teacher for this area that you have lower learning students. And I think it would be a good thing.
Homeowner's shoulder head burden is not
Let's
protected.
move to those three.
Oh, you want
We're
to
gonna run out of time.
go? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Let's give them a hand.